Look out across the Indian Ocean. From the surface, it appears as an empty expanse separating one landmass from the next. Traditional maps prioritize shared land borders, but for a peninsula like India, which reaches deep into the sea, the water functions as a primary infrastructure for connection. Sweep south, east, and west from the coastline to find a massive, interconnected network of maritime neighbors. This neighborhood stretches from the island nations just off the southern tip, across to Southeast Asia, and toward the energy hubs of the Arabian Peninsula. These waters have bridged distinct civilizations for millennia. The ancient routes established by dhows and merchant vessels have evolved over time into the high-volume shipping lanes that drive modern global trade. Just 32 kilometers off the southern coast, separated by the narrow Palk Strait, sits Sri Lanka, India's closest maritime neighbor. The connection between the two lands is rooted in deep history. In the 3rd century BCE, Emperor Ashoka's daughter arrived here to share Buddhist teachings, establishing a cultural bond that exists alongside shared Tamil Hindu traditions today. Today, this relationship is defined by modern logistics. The Colombo port handles nearly 70. To the east, India's strategy is guided by the Act East policy. Launched in the 1990s, it recognizes that regional security and economic growth are tied directly to engagement with Southeast Asia. This eastward focus was already active over 2,000 years ago. Evidence of an ancient Indian cultural footprint is carved into the stone facades of Hindu temples found throughout Thailand. In Malaysia, stories from the Ramayana continue to shape traditional wayang kulit shadow puppetry. And in Indonesia, the 9th century Borobudur Temple remains one of the largest Buddhist monuments on Earth. Its massive platforms are designed as a mandala, a physical representation of the spiritual path to enlightenment. These ancient links provide the foundation for modern security. A significant portion of the world's shipping must pass through the Strait of Malacca, a narrow geographic bottleneck between Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Southeast Asia represents a convergence of forces. Influence here is built on centuries of cultural exchange and the modern necessity of protecting the sea lanes that connect the Indian and Pacific Oceans. To the west, maritime relationships predate modern history. Records from the 3rd millennium BCE show the Indus Valley civilization actively trading copper and pottery with Magan, the region known today as Oman. Modern Oman controls access to the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway carries about 30% of the world's global oil trade and up to 70% of India's crude oil imports. This geography makes Oman India's oldest strategic partner in the Gulf. Maintaining secure passage through this narrow corridor prevents a sudden energy crisis that would stall the entire national economy. Further up the coast lies Iran. While deep historical Persian influence shaped Indian art and language for centuries, the modern relationship is shaped by the complexities of international sanctions. India's development of the Chabahar port serves as a strategic workaround. This maritime link provides direct overland access to Afghanistan and Central Asia, allowing India to bypass land-based obstacles. West Asia is a vital lifeline. Merchant routes established in antiquity have evolved into the energy and security corridors of today. When we view the Indian Ocean as a whole, the relationships to the south, east, and west merge into a single interconnected ecosystem. Geography determines the stakes. Why does controlling a narrow strait define national security? How do ancient merchant routes dictate modern energy policy? Geography provides the blueprint for national strategy. Every maritime alliance and shipping lane responds to the physical world, showing how India projects influence and protects its future across the Indo-Pacific.